All right.
Alright guys, we're back. I'm your boy DeAnthony, our boy Don here.
Sup?
And we're Break Room Blitz and we are ready to talk about this Bohemian Rhapsody movie. Now this is spoilers. Spoilers.
We told you already.
Spoiler!
Alright.
You got it.
You got it.
Alright, so how'd the movie do this week?
IMDb, we got an 8.4 out of 10. Metacritic score, 49 out of 100.
Dang.
And then Rotten Tomatoes, we got the critics giving it 60% and the audience score at 95%.
No, I really don't know what the critics on Rotten Tomatoes is looking for.
What are you doing? What are you looking at?
It's definitely not a 60. Well, I gave it a little. I guess I gave it a 64. Damn.
Yeah.
So I gave it. My rating was. Are we changing
3.2.
I gave it 3.2
out of 5 stars.
Out of 5. It's just not my my type of movie,
right.
Not my type of music. But I feel like a lot of the critics, I know, right? That would be their type of music. You know, I didn't listen to Kiss FM or K-Rock or whatever those other European radio stations. I listened to Power 106. So if it didn't come on Power 106, I didn't listen to it. 92.3 The Beat. I didn't listen to it if it wasn't on that. So that wasn't my music or my genre, but, and all the mellow kissing too, but I did enjoy it as a story. It was entertaining. It kept my attention, so I'm not really sure what the 60 was about. I'm really surprised at that.
Okay.
But you said
that,
well, what'd you give it as a rating?
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So it's up there. Yeah, 95 or whatever you want to call it.
So in our spoiler-free video, check that out too. You said that there was some embellishments of the story.
There was, yeah.
Like what? Because I couldn't tell. I could not think like, oh, that must be a movie moment. Oh, that did not happen.
Right.
I didn't think like that. So
basically, if you want to take it back to when they got their record deal with EMI, the Mike Myers, he was the character playing the
Michael Myers.
Yeah. The Halloween mask. Anyway, they fired him kind of like early on when they had come out with their Bohemian Rhapsody, and that didn't happen. I guess they were part of the studio long after that. So that was one embellishment, but I think that was just for the storyline.
So, say that they didn't fire him?
Yeah, they didn't fire him. That's not when they actually fired him. I mean, he stuck around part of the EMI record label for a while.
Oh, how do you know that?
I just fact checked the thing afterwards. Yeah.
You fact checked that particular part?
That was part of it. That was part of it.
Okay.
That was the one thing people were talking about. So another thing was that when they apparently broke up, they never really actually broke up. And actually, Freddie wasn't the first one to leave, even though he got like an offer in the movie. It shows it was actually the drummer, and he came out with I guess two of his own albums. Drum solos. Hey man, he was killing it. And then the guitarist came out with his, and Freddie came out with 2 of his in the 80s. So they weren't really on speaking terms. But the movie made it seem that way, that they just kind of broke up, and then finally they reunited to go to the Live Aid, which was in 1985. But in reality, that didn't happen. They had come back together in '84, came out with an album in '84, and then that kind of carried them up into 1985. So.
Oh wow! You know what? Now that you mention that,
yeah.
That did seem like a movie moment. Like he was the diva who broke up the whole group.
Right.
They got back together right before the concert.
Right.
I did remember thinking that, but I was like, well, fuck it, maybe it did happen. So I don't know.
Right. So I mean, there was a lot of that built up stuff that like was embellishing the story. Now I didn't know all of that. Like when I was watching the movie, I just kind of went along with it, and it actually did what it was. Trying to do was actually make you feel for him, because when they do go into the Live Aid performance and he is singing those songs, I was thinking back that these lyrics have that much more impact for me. He's singing these songs like, I've, got a sentence, but I didn't any crime and all this stuff, and like he's just like his struggle through life, and he's he's sick with AIDS. And that was another thing. He didn't actually tell his band that he had AIDS. You know.
Ain't that about a bitch?
He told them like after the fact, and he came out to the public saying that he had AIDS, like officially, and then the next day he died. So
see, I always thought that Magic Johnson was the first celebrity with AIDS.
Get out of here with
what
that.
Do you mean?
There was a lot of people in that 70s that had AIDS. They just didn't know what to classify it as, you know?
I didn't know. I thought that he was the first one.
No.
He's the poster boy.
No.
I don't think he has AIDS. Well,
so
HIV,
that's another thing that I did appreciate, that he did, I mean, in the movie, say that he didn't want to be that kind of person to say that, like, he's like a poster boy with AIDS, that kind of thing.
I thought that was selfish. I think that people, unfortunately, look up to celebrities. They shouldn't, but they do. So if you have a celebrity that you really care about and you follow, and he's like, yo, if you keep following me, this is what's going to happen. I think that would have been the more responsible thing to do.
Sure.
But, I mean, it fed his character in the movie.
Right.
To be a diva, to be selfish. So I wasn't like, oh, hell no. I was like, yeah, that sounds like something he would say. So,
I mean, at least they didn't go that far. So they kind of kept it real with that tone of things, with, you know, him keeping the secret to himself kind of thing. And just really the way that they actually played it, as far as like them kind of breaking up in the movie and then coming back as a band, it did kind of like give me a different sense of like, man, it's going to be sad that, like, you know, he's giving his huge performance, and this is going to be it, you know, this is like going to be the top of it, and then they're just gonna, like, you know.
Well, in the movie, that's what he says. His love of his life.
Right.
She walks in and says, "You're burning at both ends of the candlestick."
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, I'm gonna go out. I don't know.
Right.
Like a supernova or whatever.
Right.
It's gonna be beautiful."
Yeah.
So I mean, when you have that mentality, you can't be sad or a victim when that type of shit happens.
Right.
So. It was kind of fitting.
It was kind of fitting.
At least he did get to go out with a bang.
He did, yeah.
You know, because a lot of times, because he got 20 minutes set on that huge concert.
Yeah.
I was thinking they were going to get like 1 or 2 songs.
No,
they got 20 minutes. So,
but they crammed in a lot of their songs in that one time. I think it was like, man, I mean, the thing actually happened. I mean, if you actually go on YouTube, you can find the whole set that they did, and I mean, scene for scene, like that whole thing, they kept it really like awesome. I mean, it really brought it to life.
What I liked about it was the continuity. So when they're practicing for the concert, his voice is cracking. He's not able to really sing the notes. And then when he gets on stage and he hears the whole crowd, he flips, and now he's able to hit them. Because earlier in the movie, he said, "When I hear the crowd singing my songs or chanting my name or whatever, there's no way I can be off key."
Yeah.
So when they did that, I was like, oh, that was a great point right there.
It was so good. Yeah, I love that. Like he feeds off that energy, basically, you know? It's like that crowd energy, and that like inspires him to go all out. So I did like that. And out of doctor's advice, you know, like actual fact check again, like they told him not to do it, you know, that he was having, you know, throat issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was going through a lot.
My issue in the movie was his last boyfriend. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
The last boyfriend we saw.
Jim Hutton.
Does he ever tell him that he has AIDS? Because I'm like, I feel like you need to be saying this type of stuff before you start grabbing people's hands and shit.
Yeah, I don't know about like all of that. I mean, I think I didn't go that far into it, but it's like he kept it really hush hush as far as like, you know, what he had and who he told certain things to.
Well, to be having a boyfriend, I would like to have seen that conversation on the movie.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even tell his sister. I think the only person that he actually told was Mary.
That was a mess. Now, I thought, because someone told me, oh yeah, Queen, he's gay. And I thought that his name was Queen, and they just named the band that. I didn't know that wasn't
the band name
case.
was... Okay.
his name was not Queen.
No.
So when they told me that, and then he met this chick, I thought, oh, they were gonna be friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all of a sudden they having sex and they kissing, and then will you marry me? I was like, oh shit. All of a sudden he must get like, once he gets famous, then shit starts popping off.
Right, right.
But I did not know that part, so that was kind of surprising to see that. I liked the interaction with how he actually got with the band. Was that true? He just walked up and said, "You need a writer."
So that also wasn't true.
God damn it!
So he
60. You know what? 49 out of 100.
And
okay.
I think that so like and now maybe you can start appreciating why the critics gave it the score that they did.
No, it was entertaining. I didn't care.
So exactly. So not knowing it, going into it that way. So as far as like his band and how he gets into it with the band called Smile, he was already kind of following them, and the actual singer of the band, Smile, he was in the same art school as Freddie, and so they were already close. So when he decides to bail on the band, it was easier for Freddie to make that transition into the band. And then the part where I think you had brought it up in our other discussion was that, what about the bass player? He was kind of like off to the side. So the bass player, Freddie, he actually found him, I don't know, some other way. But there was a scene where they find this bassist and they bring him into the band.
Yeah, because I'm like, hold on, there's 4 people now?
Yeah.
Where the hell
he
come from?
Slips in, exactly. I would have appreciated to at least find all the members of the band because they all stuck around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, why not? Let's just respect everybody. And like, several times in the movie they say, hey, we're going to split everything, 4 times evenly. And anything that anybody makes is going to be made by Queen and not any one person of the band. So, I mean, we didn't get too much of that. I mean, we didn't have maybe a lot of time.
I think that's a unrealistic thing. If I'm writing the song,
sure, then
I need to get more.
But I think so too. And they did show him that he did find something, a song to do, and
it was
at least they gave him that. At least they gave him that.
I did like the riff he did.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Would have been nice to
slap in the bass, man. Boom, 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 boom. Right.
That's actually one of my favorite rom-coms.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Slap in the bass.
Right. The love story was all over the place. So like towards the end, once he, realizes that, I'm gonna just say he's gay. He said he was bi, but she was like, "You're gay." Let's not even beat around the bush, okay?
She knew better. And you know what?
And that's my thing. Why are you upset? You put makeup on his goddamn eyelid.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. Maybe she was just doing it because at the time there was this big old glam rock thing. And a lot of the people like Twisted Sister and all these different bands, Kiss, they were all doing that. Big hair and
Kiss has a
mascara.
Full clown mask.
Yeah, exactly.
She put on... I don't know what is it called, mascara.
Yeah. She put on makeup
pretty
on
little mascara,
and he was wearing women's clothing. So I mean, for her to be surprised at that, but me,
so hurt. I'm like, come on now, come on.
But you know what? I appreciate her character. Her as an actor, she's hella pretty, first of all, and I mean, just her character.
Okay.
I liked it. I liked that she kind of still stuck by him. She really felt like for him, it's like, look at all the stuff that you're doing, just come home to your family kind of thing. And she still accepted him. She still brought him in, even though he was messed up.
Well, I mean, I don't know. She went over to the man's house to pretty much just rub it in his face and just boned out. I'm like, you're not going to stay...
He had to be the one to make the decision to
but
leave.
You went all this way in the rain for 2 minutes of conversation and left?
Well, she didn't know what situation that he was in.
I don't know. It seems more...
It was probably a movie moment.
Probably.
Yeah.
For it to be dramatic and to go forward with the story. But I would have, it just would have made more sense if she would have stayed a little longer.
Yeah.
But I think that it was... I wonder what happened to that first manager that they had. The one that... what's the dude from Game of Thrones?
Oh, I thought, okay, so I don't know what his name is, but the dude from Game of Thrones, maybe we look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. But I thought that he should have stuck up for himself and saying like, yo, your friend's the one who told me you were interested in this. don't just get kicked out of the car
Right.
and say, "Oh, you kicking out the wrong snake."
His name is Aidan Gillen as the actor.
I like him as an actor. Not necessarily.
John Reed. He was John Reed, the like music producer or whatever.
Yeah, I like him as an actor.
He's a good actor, and I think that they chose his part like perfectly because he kind of had that Game of Thrones-esque, that same character that he plays in Game of Thrones. It's very sneaky and conniving. Like, yo, I got a side deal for you, Freddy.
Right. But he was an upstanding dude. It just so happened that the other agent or whatever he was,
band manager or something like
right.
that. I don't know what part.
And he didn't even get to manage the band.
No, they
did all that for nothing.
They chose that other guy, Jim Beach, Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's why with Hollywood, man, you really, and I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that movie. Is to be loyal to your family.
Right.
They're the ones that got your back.
Yeah.
Even though his dad didn't really approve of his style,
right? I mean,
he's still welcoming him back home.
Absolutely.
So and then he finds out that Freddie, right?
Freddie. Mm-hmm.
That he don't even really have any friends, or the friends that he thinks he has are not it.
Nah, they're fake.
So then by the time he realizes who his real family is, it's too late.
Yeah.
So I hope this is one reason why, because like I sing, my son's grandfather, he sings and plays the guitar, so I'm like, I don't know if I want my son to get into music because it's too much chaos in the music industry. But if he does, I'm like, you gonna read all these
history
biographs,
right?
What do you call them?
Biopics.
Biographies.
Yeah.
You'll read all these biographies about all these people from the 50s to today.
Right.
And you're going to see that you ain't going to be the only one that I can take a drug and not have to do it.
Every movie. Who gets ripped off? And that was actually part of the actual history of Queen. They got into money problems early on because one of the managers or executive producers was stealing from them, basically.
And they didn't put that. They made it seem like they was just living it up.
No, they were struggling towards the end of like them like kind of like going their own separate ways.
I was like, damn, they just made all this money, huh? No one ripped them off, huh?
Yeah. No, they definitely did. They're like, well, why am I like breaking my back, and you're reaping all my benefits? Like, yeah, I want to be a rock star and do what I love doing, but like when I'm like broken from a tour and like I'm, done. I don't have any money to show for it, so, that kind of sucks.
Back to this love thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to.
Was it mine?
Well, I was just gonna retort, but go ahead.
When he actually, like, I guess when she walks into the room, she says you're gay or whatever.
Right.
And then he has another concert, and she comes with her boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
And now he's so brokenhearted. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, why are you brokenhearted? What in the hell is going on?
Because he still feels for her, and that just showed how much he was showing a lot of selfishness in that moment. How can you can't have everything, man? No. It's like he was becoming too selfish, and he wasn't like seeing that, like, okay, what is she supposed to do? Wait for you? Be there for you always? Like, you can't just lock it up.
She moved across the street. He didn't even go over to her house or invite her over. He calls her.
Turn on
the lamp.
You got a drink.
Do it again. Take a drink with me.
Yeah.
Bro, no one got time for that.
Right.
Either you want it or you don't.
Yeah.
That's why when the niece dude is crying, what are you crying about?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. If you want something, go get it. Don't be like, I don't know. I'm going to just keep her over there, my little pet. No. Yeah. She going to have a boyfriend. She about to get married.
They had a kid. She got pregnant. And then, like, and to the point where he kind of goes back, you can see that he's kind of struggling, like he feels like kind of disrespected by her or betrayed by her in a sense for having her own life and moving on. But I mean, she's still like showing how she was a dope character. She's a dope person. I mean, I don't know any person that would go through that much crap about a selfish person.
He's a celebrity. There's a lot of people who go through hoops.
I guess so, but I mean, okay, so when
you're giving her too much credit now.
Well, I'm giving her
it's
more
Queen,
credit.
okay?
I'm giving her more credit.
Too much credit.
All right, fine. But going back to where she says that she's pregnant, and then like he finally like was like, "How could you?" It's like, what the heck? How could you, bro? Like, it's not your baby, so that's none of your business. I'm just letting you know as a courtesy because I thought we were close. I thought you had my back.
No, it was like, how could you? It wasn't like you was going to impregnate me.
Exactly.
So, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
So, I mean,
I thought it was cool though. I like
there was inner turmoil. Yeah, I mean,
I like the camaraderie with the band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they even though they knew he was a little extra.
Yeah.
Even though they knew he was homosexual, they still tried to like go to the parties.
Yeah.
But they're like, yo, we can't stay for this. This is a little too much. But I'm like, but you guys knew.
Yeah,
I mean,
they knew. No, they knew when they were on the road. I mean, there was that scene where, they kind of show them doing like their tour at a rest stop, and the trucker goes out into the bathroom, and he looks back. So at that moment, that's when he started cheating on his wife because they were still married at the time.
I don't think they saw that part though. I think it was just him by himself.
No, that's just kind of like in there in the movie. But I mean, he was still doing.
But
the
they
thing.
should have known. I guess
They definitely did know. I mean, come on now. But I mean, okay, so these guys, they were actually really smart, and the band as a whole, I think like they did so much things that a lot of bands don't do with like all these very experimental like sounds and the way that they're coming up with their music. I thought that was so cool that they showed all those different scenes of the movie. I really love those parts.
Yeah.
It showed them coming together as a band and really collaborating on it. The main guitarist, he had his PhD, astrophysics. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. The other guy,
I know, right? They were all like real smart nerds.
Yeah. The other guy, electrical engineer. The other guy was going to school, studying to be a dentist, and even Freddie himself was a designer. I mean, art designer. So,
right,
man, I just like, I can't imagine that like, they would have leave any of that out. They kind of did with the one electrical engineer, but I mean,
he got to say what he did.
He redeemed himself in that one part, coming up with his song.
So no, it was a really cool riff. I would have to.
I mean, dope. Another one bites the dust, and it was perfect because they were like arguing. She's like, "Let me break up this argument." Slap in the face.
Do you want to play or what?
Yeah.
Let's make some music.
Right.
So I thought it was cool. I don't have any as far as the storyline goes. I don't have any real issues with it. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what was a movie moment versus what was true. So I thought they did a good job. If I can't tell what's a movie moment, then you did a good job.
That was dope.
Just not my I'm not able to appreciate it as much as someone who likes the music. So I get why you gave it your score. I'm not really sure what the critics are doing.
To me, it was like really heartfelt. I mean, okay, if you're a hardcore fan and you know the timeline that everything went down, even with that said, I mean, I've seen some like good movie, like Ready Player One. The whole book was great, and then when I went to go see the movie, I was kind of disappointed, but it didn't detract too much from me enjoying my time. I just appreciate that the story is being told.
Wouldn't sleep on that one.
But I mean. This is a guy's life, These are these guys' lives, and I think that they did right by choosing them.
So I had to do
it.
Had to do it. I like. Oh, you know what? I guess the drummer he could sing.
He could sing. Yeah. No, he was an awesome vocalist. Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he kind of went in and did his own thing. Rami Malek, he just did Freddie Mercury's character so well. Like from just the very start to the very end, it was very consistent. I was ready for him to kind of slip up on some of the scenes, and kind of. I don't know.
Were you? I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job. I thought that he had it together. I wasn't waiting on him to fail. I guess.
I thought that because early on they were giving it bad scores, and I couldn't see why. Towards like the middle of the movie, I was like, no, this is pretty consistent.
Hey, why don't you read one of those? Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, Tomatoes.
See what they got going on, because I don't see. I'm actually surprised that they started off giving him bad views, because honestly, his performance was great. I forgot all about Mr. Robot. When it comes to Mr. Robot, he's such an introvert. He doesn't really have a lot of personality, and then for him to be an extrovert, flamboyant, charismatic. I was like, oh snap! I forgot all about Mr. Robot.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one critic, kind of a lengthy one. Ideally, a film like this would attempt to add to or contextualize a legacy. Instead, Bohemian Rhapsody tries to sanctify it, packing it in bubble wrap to protect it from causing or being caught in any friction. Another one says, Freddie Mercury deserves better. Simple as that. And then one more here. The problem with all this meticulous recreation is that in the end, it rings hollow. And I don't agree with any of that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like they did the character justice. I mean, they did Freddie justice, and the two members of the band were actually on set. They were giving the okay for everything. They were a big part of this movie.
Now they want to make money. Eventually, you got to just say yes.
Yeah.
My only thing, because when they showed all the original band or band crew at the end, and everyone looked just like the
Spot
actors.
On. It was great,
except for Freddie.
Well,
now I'm thinking that maybe Freddie wasn't as, because when they showed the real Freddie, he didn't seem as flamboyant or as sweet.
Yeah.
He seemed a little normal, and maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know, because I don't know the band, but that was one thing that I was he doesn't seem like what we got in the movie.
Extra,
right? A
little bit more extra. You know what? It's hard for me to say that because when I've seen so many interviews that they had done for him, I can see a little bit of that. But yeah, I can see it being a little bit more extra just for the sake of the movie.
So maybe that's what they're talking about.
But as far as the way that they look, I think that they chose them really good, especially when they went into the 90s and he had his mustache and everything like that, his comb over hair. I think that it was like really spot on at moments. Yeah. Really well done.
We're running out of time, but that's our review. Yeah. That's our discussion.
Highly recommend it.
What we thought. If you're not going to see anything, go check it out. I mean, it's going to be entertaining. You know, like I said, I would have liked to see a little more kisses from the band members and their wives. A lot of boy-on-boy kissing. But other than that, I thought the story was pretty strong. So I would say go check it out.
Absolutely.
So, alright guys, that's our review. I'm your boy D'Anthony.
Adan.
Where can we find you at?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at PwnedPops. That's PWNEDPOPS.
And you can find us on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Break Room Blitz. So if you want to know what's going on, what we're going to be doing, or my thoughts of what I'm thinking about on Monday, go ahead and check that out.
Nobody. No.
I know already.
It's funny. It's funny.
I know that already.
It's Monday.
All right, guys, we're out.
Peace.
Peace. Camera.
Ayo. Ayo.